Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Tim Ripper Owens, thanks for joining us on the show, brother. It's good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you. Good to talk to you again. Absolutely. I should have put this up higher, I guess, but that's all right. It's good. We're good.
Nah, you're good, bro. Well, of course, it has been a little while since we've spoken, and I'm pretty excited. You're coming down here with Simon Wright for the Metal Gods tour, playing a ton of Judas Priest and Dio material, which is going to be incredible. I mean, how did the idea of this come about? Because it's pretty damn cool.
Well, you know, I went there before. Well, I did my solo thing, but then a few years ago, I did the orchestra thing. I did an orchestra thing and did AC/DC and you know, Simon and Jaymes brought us there. And Jaymes was like, "Hey, listen, let's do a tour," because we did a one-off show after the thing. We did like the rock club, local rock club. Damn, I can't remember the name of it. It was fantastic.
Was it Cherry Bar?
No. Oh, this is because they're such great people, and it's such
Frankie's.
Frankie's.
Yeah. Legend.
Oh, so fun. Everybody was so great, and it was such a fun show. So, anyways, Jaymes was like, "We should do this again." You know, and then it's hard to book through my schedule, and then COVID hit and all blah, blah, blah. But then he said, right after, and then he kept asking me, "Can we do it?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know if kk'spriest is going to tour. So I'm kind of off the books, man. I can't book anything." And, you know, happened that we just can't get kk'spriest out there now, mainly because all these big tours of that size were booked years ago. You know, I mean, people keep saying, "How come kk'spriest isn't touring?" Well, it's because, you know, they're making up that size tour. They're making up from the last 2-3 years. And it's hard to pencil it in. I could pencil this in my solo touring and stuff. So when he said to do it, let's get Simon. And, you know, it's not a normal tour for me. I'd like to come there and play a solo tour as well.
Yes.
But these kind of shows are fun. You know, I love singing Dio. You know, it's going to have not my typical type of set with Priest, but it'll have a couple of my era Priest songs in it.
Cool.
You know, my set list for my solo shows now, I did Hellfire Thunderbolt from kk'spriest, and you know, it's filled with my stuff. I mean, like when I played there before, but Jaymes has set this whole thing up, and it's really going to be a good time. You know, it's fun. You know, Dio stuff, I love singing it, but it tears me down, man. It's not my regular stuff, even though I sound like it's right in my wheelhouse when I sing it. It really it's not, you know. I mean, it's a lot. You know what? My regular stuff, I can cheat and move around and sing really low and then really, you know, it's like I do all this stuff. Dio's just freaking full, unless you're singing, you know, in the misty morning, you know, you're doing something like that. But most of it's just, you know, up there higher register doing it. So it's a great set list we put together. Rainbow, Sabbath, Dio, Priest. It's going to be a really good show.
But you mentioned before, of course, you're going to be putting in some of your Priest stuff too.
Yeah. I'd like to put in more than I But again, that's the difference of this show and my solo show. So what I always tell people when I do something like this, it's not a typical show. This is an entertainment show, man. This is entertaining. This is fun. This is come out, put your hands up. You know all these songs or most of them, and you get into it. That's the kind of show it is. And it's a celebration of kind of all this stuff. And it leaves it open for my solo show. It leaves it open for me to come and do, the stuff that I do, whether it's even When the Eagle Cries from my Stirrup and Bloodstained and Burning Hell and One-on-One and Hell is Home and on and on and on, So it makes a difference. I can't remember what I put into the set list. I know I put Burning Hell probably for sure, but I probably put One-on-One in there as well. So I don't know.
Awesome. Well, I mean, kind of. Jugulator turns 25 on the day you're in the Japanese release. So technically, hey, it's still a release date. 25 on the day you're in Melbourne. So I guess that's something you can tie in or celebrate.
Yeah, that's nice. I do need to look at the set list I made. They sent one set list to me, and there's like a couple Priest songs on there. I'm like, I don't really sing those, I mean, there's a couple that I don't do much. I mean, obviously you're going to have the cheesy ones in there, Breaking the Law and things like that, because it's what it is. I was there before. Was it Hellraiser? Was that who was with me? Or Killraiser?
Oh, yeah, Killraiser. Yeah.
And Hellraiser. I don't know what. As a matter of fact,
hey, there you go.
That's funny. Hey, I didn't even realize that. I just went, wait a minute, I'm wearing this shirt. I did Burning Hell with those fellas, and Doug and those guys brought me there before, and they, a lot of those guys were backing me up. So I look forward to coming back and doing a proper set of my stuff and heavier set, and it's always good to do that. But this show is just it's what the doctor ordered at this time right now. People starting to go out again. Yeah, Dio and Priest, Simon, the guys in the band are just fantastic. So I always love playing with Simon. He's so good and so fun and such a good friend. So it's going to make for a great night.
Well, he's one of the best drummers in heavy music for sure. I mean,
absolutely. There's
obviously, you play with Dio and, there's the Akadaka connection there as well, with Australia. So there's definitely that connection. I can't wait to see him play. I've never seen him play live, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, he's too loud.
Wear brushes.
I think Ronnie used to put him at a certain level, so it wasn't like it is. He's like, listen, the riser has to be certain height, so your drums aren't coming right at me. Yeah, he doesn't slack in the hitting the drums. If there was a volume, I could turn him down. But he, we should be, I don't know why they didn't stick an AC/DC song in a set. I mean, what the hell? I mean, we could always throw in an easy one like Highway to Hell or TNT and get the crowd going. And who knows? We might, but it's gonna be good. I can't wait to come. It's been a while for me. It's been years since that AC/DC orchestra thing I did. So,
man, it's going to be incredible. One of my biggest regrets is I never actually got to see Dio live. So it's going to be my closest thing to seeing Dio.
He was so good and such a great guy, and the thing about the luck with me throughout my whole career and just keep on plugging away. Sometimes I get fired, I plug away. I get fired, I plug away. I got to open for Dio, I got to open for Heaven and Hell towards the very end, like one of his last runs. It wasn't far. He might have had one more run after. When I did it twice. Once with Iced Earth. It was Iced Earth, Lamb of God, and Heaven and Hell. And the other time it was my solo run. I had Chris Caffrey, David Ellefson, Simon Wright, and John Capri from Beyond Fear. That was my band, and we went on tour with them in Europe. And so I'm lucky. Was able to become friends with him and watch how he handled things and did things. And he was great live, man. I had someone tell me once, we went to watch Heaven and Hell, and this was very, this was probably the very last tour, I think. They said, I used to think you were the best live singer that I saw. You were always, spot on, and you did everything that you did until now. And
Man.
And I told Ronnie that, and every time we'd see each other after, he goes, Tim, come here. Tell him what your friend said. He would say it every time.
Oh, man. I heard he was nothing but just a kind, legendary dude. So it's like...
Oh, he was way better to the fans than anybody I ever met. And I've been fortunate to be in bands that we were good to the fans. Judas Priest guys were, listen, we don't go out. Now, Ronnie might, but we don't go out into the venues and into the clubs and hang out with people at the bar after the concert. But we would come out, we'd have a VIP, and then we would come out and sign everything at the bus or whatever. They always said this, they strived it. And Ronnie was above and beyond that. He could be, the true story, he was sick, very sick one time. It was pouring down rain, and he sat on the bus after the show, and they said, he noticed people out there, and they said, no, you can't go out there. And he went out there and stood for like an hour signing autographs to people, and he was really sick. I've never met anybody. He remembered everybody's name. I say this on stage all the time. He would meet somebody 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and he would be on stage and go, hey, Cindy, how old's your son now or something? What is he, 10 or something? I mean, this guy, and I'm the complete opposite. Like, I don't remember anybody's name. So I don't remember my name on stage sometimes. So
I don't even remember my name now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, that's legendary. What's the hardest sort of Dio song to tackle, do you reckon? Like, what really pushes your...
Well, I'm fortunate that I'm singing them tuned down just like he was at the end, and the Black Sabbath stuff, all that stuff was tuned down. It's really not that big of a difference, because if you're touring anyways, you're doing it a half step down usually, right? So we're doing it a whole step down from what most of them are recorded in. So basically just makes it a half step more. But Rainbow in the Dark, he's got a lot. You go back to those. The thing about Ronnie that's deceiving is he's higher than he actually sounds. Yeah. Like when he's singing these songs, his natural voice is up there. And there's sometimes and you run out of breath. There's parts in that breakdown in Neon Nights where circle, da, 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 and it's like I go to a falsetto on it, which is strange, and I make it like raspy and different. But Rainbow in the Dark, I got to be on and make, because by the end of it, you're dead. On the solo touring I've been doing lately, and then what I'm doing in South America coming up, we do Last in Line. We do Heaven and Hell and Last in Line in the set. We end Heaven and Hell's like towards the end, like encore, and get people going to celebrate Ronnie. But in the middle of it, I do Last in Line. I just like doing it. And sometimes if I'm on, it's really easy. But all of a sudden, halfway through the song, you realize, man, I think you've been pushing too hard. You thought it was too easy, and then you start going, "Oh no, I'm in trouble. Come on, sing, everybody." He's there's singers. I learned a lot from him, and singers like Joey Belladonna, who had a higher natural range, that I had to learn to sing, and I did. I learned a lot from singers. I still do. I'll hear singers and sing it, and I'll learn to sing things different, but, I'm not trying. The good thing is I'm not trying to sound like Ronnie or be Ronnie. See, that's the difference is, I don't have to sing them just like him. When I joined Priest, I didn't have to be Rob or sound like Rob, but I had to sing the songs in the same thing, and I sounded, and if anybody ever says I was miming Rob or I sound like Rob, they're full of shit. You can tell the difference between Rob Halford and Ripper Owens. It's
absolutely,
you'd have to be different, but I learn a lot from everybody, and, just because I learned a lot doesn't mean I can always sing it, but the Rainbow stuff gets pretty tough, Well, I don't know if we're doing Stargazer. We might be doing Stargazer. I might have changed that with Kill the King, though. I might have put Kill the King in instead of Stargazer. So,
but you are one of the best vocalists in metal, like hands down. You're talking about learning from these dudes. I know, like, there's heaps of vocalists that have learned from you. You know,
I hear it every day. So it's kind of cool. You know, I mean, it's awesome. It is awesome. And you know what? Like the other guys, I've worked my ass off and I try to sound as good as I can. I was fortunate that I was born with this voice. I mean, I would have rather been a brain surgeon and born like that, but this wasn't going to help. You know, no one wanted me to do that. But I was born to sing, and then I've taken it and work at it. I still work at it. You know, I struggled for the last four years or so vocally. I wasn't the same. I don't know what happened, but this past month I've really started. I did these couple live shows and my voice has been fantastic again. But I work hard at it. So whenever somebody says, man, you're my favorite singer, or you influence me, and I get it all the time. There's this one guy that opens for us when I go on the road sometimes, and my band will come back and go, dude, this guy, he's acting, he looks just like you too. Look at him. It's pretty great. So it's pretty awesome. It's flattering for sure.
Do you get hit up all the time for vocal lessons on the road? I know it must be hard these days, but you know.
I get asked if I would ever do vocal lessons. I did a little bit gave some vocal lessons one time. But you know, that's not my thing. You know, there's vocal teachers, Jamie on the social media and YouTube. There's a lot of great people. I just say, if you got it, you got it to start with. If you don't, you don't. When I gave vocal lessons, this one guy wanted to sing high notes. This was 40 years ago, I think. I don't know. It wasn't 40 years ago. It was 30 years ago. He goes, can I have some vocal lessons? I want to sing some high notes. And he couldn't sing high notes. And I'm like, I can't teach you to sing high notes if you don't sing high notes.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't, you know, I don't know. It's like teaching somebody to be a golfer, and then you're not going to golf like Tiger Woods if you can't have that ability anyways, you know? And so I would tell him, my vocal lessons are funny. I would just be like, okay, do this training, do these exercises. I said, now go home and put Outshined on and just learn to sing it. It's got everything. Practice, sing, Outshined, and then come back and let me hear you sing it. Cause I'm like, that's your start. If you can't sing it at all, then
that song is, yeah.
And it's a great tune. Chris Cornell's a great guy to listen to. You know why he is? Because he's not the cleanest, the most perfect singer as in technique. You know, he's got the rasp. I learned so much from Chris Cornell. I remember trying to sing kk'spriest one time when he did that band, and it was like just this weird screaming register. And I learned something all new from doing it. You know? But I was like, just go and put your favorite music on. The kind of style you want to sing, go put it on and sing to it.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. Yeah, hey, you got to start somewhere. But I know what you mean. Like, some people are just born with that natural talent. Some other people, you know, you just got to find.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I do the death metal thing, so that's I guess what I can do. But melodically,
but that's great. You know, it's fortunate. I just did a song kind of like that a while ago. It's out there now somewhere. I can't remember who it was with. And that's what's so great about having the voice that I have, where 1 minute I could sing something from Jesus Christ Superstar. Next minute I could sing Sepultura. The next minute I can sing, you know, you listen to Jugulator and you hear those death things underneath of it. And it's so, I love it that I could do it, you know, because I grew up at first listening to Priest and Maiden and Lizzie Borden or whoever it would have been, Sabotage, Metal Church. And then I was listening to Anthrax, and I was listening to Slayer and Metallica and Testament and Death Angel and you know, all the way to Venom and you know, so I was kind of had this big range of stuff that I listened to at that time. And the weirdest thing was I could sing all of them, you know. So it was kind of I mean, I don't have, you know, I'm not a death metal singer and I can't do it like you would do it or you guys would do it, but I could do it. And I love to attempt it. I loved it when I did this one song. Yeah, I did. It's funny, this song that's out there. I think that their singer sings the first verse and I sing the second. I can't remember it because I recorded it a long time ago. And I go, that's me. That's me. I think that's me. That's me. Is that him? No, that's me. You know, because it's like you just get into a zone. But I love singing. I sit in my studio in here and just sing music. I sang one song today and I started working on a second song. It's just fun to do, you know, and but you have everybody has a natural talent. I want to be a guitar player. I wanted to be a guitar player. And I went over to my buddy's house, Steve Trent, and my buddy said, hey, he told him my buddy plays guitar. So I went over there, or he said I sang. I didn't sing yet. I was just out of high school. And I said, okay. So I took my guitar over, and I'm like, because I wanted to be a guitar player. And I walked into his house, and he's my age. And he was playing Deep Purple. And then he started playing Ingve. And I was like, then I just grabbed my guitar and put it to the side and went, I'll be a singer.
Yeah. See, hey, I had something similar. My best mate, he's one of those guys who just, you know, he started playing drums and picked up guitar at the same time. And I was like, let's start a band. And he's like,
yeah,
excelled, did all this stuff. And I'm like, blah, and just threw it. So then I became a vocalist.
Well, that's it. You know, I still play guitar, and you probably do too as well. You probably play guitar. I play enough that like I wrote half the songs on the Beyond Fear record.
Cool.
I wrote half the songs on my solo record. You know, songs like Save Me on Beyond Fear, or I Don't Need This, or The Faith, or Play My Game, and things like that. I wrote those because they're all basic. They're old school Sabbathy Judas Priest, you know, don't, you know. But I don't know how to play them anymore. I wrote them, recorded them, gave them to the guitar player, and never played them again.
You're like, I kind of remember. No, but you can play. There you go. You can play. So at least right.
I try to make myself think it because I got guitars.
Nice.
All throughout and the funniest one is I picked up this cheap, crappy one that says Dio on it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the one I always play, and it's never in tune. And but I should play more. I tried. I got some lessons, but yeah, you know, natural ability. I naturally could sing. I could play guitar, but I was going to be I would play the blues scale, right? That's about like you do a solo and it'd be like when I'm on stage and I tour solo, I'll grab the guitar and I'll play Living After Midnight, and I do a solo, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at him!" But that's the only song I think I know from start to finish. And it was one of the first songs I learned. I'll go like this on stage. I'll grab the guitar. You probably can't hear it, but I'll go. I'll start playing Highway to Hell. And the crowd goes, yes. And then I stop and go, that's all I know.
Yeah. Gets a good laugh. But at least you got there. So,
yeah.
But I mean, you've been playing with kk'spriest and that Ermin? Yeah, I told you it's all Sermons of the Sinners album is fucking great, dude. It's such a
thank you.
album.
It's you know what? It's a metal record. It's exactly what Ken should have written and put out. It sounds to me, people's like, yeah, it sounds like Judas Priest. Well, it sounds like KK Dowling.
Yes, I mean 100%.
You know, now you know what KK was writing in Judas Priest, because when you listen to the record since he's left, Firepower was a great record from Judas Priest. It was fantastic.
Yep.
But you didn't hear the Judas Priest in it. Vocally, you did. Musically, you didn't. You know, because Richie and all those guys are writing it. And it's really good, and Rob sounds fantastic, and everything's great about it. But you don't now with kk'spriest, you hear that old influence. You hear, you know, you hear little licks from Rock-a-Rolla and this and that. So it was cool. You know, I can't wait to do another record, so we can even take more time and see what happens with this one.
Have you been sent anything? Because I read somewhere that he's got ideas, or
no, I think he's still, you know, he's putting them down, I think, but I don't think he's just putting licks down and stuff. I mean, we're going to start. There'll be a time when we start doing it, but I think right now he's just, you know, in his house trying to get a game plan, to be honest. I mean, obviously he'd love to be on the road, but you know, I see the messages from the agencies and stuff. It's listen, that's exactly what the booking agency said. This is, you know, your only hope is to get on to really a supporting act for another band, which would be a great, we'd love to get support Maiden or Kiss or whoever it is. But all these tours are just, they were already booked. I mean, they're like, well, the venues that he wants to play, they're booked up.
It's insane.
And all these, so, but it's all right, because we can't do it wrong. We can't go out just to tour because we want to tour and have the wrong venues, the wrong tours, the wrong markets. One show here, one show here. I mean, there's two things that the goal in my life when I tour is to sound good. Three things: sound good, have fun, and make money. So I'm not going out to just not make money either. The whole thing has to happen. And Corona just changed a lot for us. I mean, our record was done before it. I finished it in March, first week of March of 2020. Right, that's when it started. So it was. I just got out of England in time. So, but anyways, it's a great old school record, and it's not just old school. It's got some little vibes, and Ken's trying to throw some different, things in there and twists and turns in the song, so it's not straightforward, and it's pretty good stuff.
It is really good stuff. And another thing is, last time we spoke, that was for A New Revenge. Yeah. Which I loved as well.
I love
going on with that.
I love A New Revenge. I'm waiting for Kerry. Kerry, the guitar player, the one him and I wrote the album. He's out with Night Ranger. He's been a Night Ranger. Do you guys know who Night Ranger is there? I don't even know, because
I've heard of, yeah.
That's what's funny when you say something. A band that sold 50 million albums, but I always tell people that doesn't mean that they know them other places.
We are in the arse end of the world here, my friend.
Well, no, it's like that all the time. I remember telling somebody in England about the band Rat, and they were like, Rat? That's a punk band. I'm like, well, in America, it's a hair metal band.
Yeah.
But Night Rangers, like, they sang a song called Sister Christian, or they sang Still Rockin' America. They're really big band. Anyways, he's been in there, and
I'm going to have everyone messaging me now going, what's wrong with you?
No. Listen,
I'm going to have all angry.
That's when I say something like that. Then I learned my lesson by some other bands where they don't necessarily, America's a place where people, even in other countries, want to come and get popular.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Judas Priest, they wanted to. So sometimes people that doesn't go outside of it. I mean, they're from here, and that doesn't mean, and everybody has their artists, every country. It's like me going to somewhere in Australia, you go, this guy? And I'm like, never heard of him.
Right? Everyone's got a story like that where it's like, Steve. It's like, which one?
But he's been in that. It's a great record. On my solo tour, I was playing on my solo shows. I've only had local ones and a few out around here. We were doing Enemies and Lovers from it, and it was a lot of fun, But then I replaced that with Fists in the Air, Raise Your Fists, and then I replaced that last show with Hellfire Thunderbolt, which is fantastic to do live.
That's a good one, eh? Oh, that's
But I love a new Revenge, and I can't wait to do it. It's one of my favorite records that I did.
So what else do you have coming up, man? Like, obviously the Metal Gods tour.
I got the Metal Gods tour.
You're a really busy dude.
Yeah, I do. I have, I think I copied something like What the Hell I Have Coming Up, but it's all like I have a local show like in Syracuse, about 6 hours away, to do some appearance next week, and then I got an appearance locally to just get up and sing like 4 songs with some people. But then I go to Latin America. I got I don't know. I got like 16 shows in 18 days or something. It's the craziest thing ever on the way we're doing it. Then right before I come to you guys, I go to Spain and for 3 shows, and then I come back for like 2 days and then go to I probably should have planned it better, but
that's what, you got to do what you got to do these days, eh?
Yeah, it's
hard,
really
man, to plan post-COVID,
Well, it's post COVID. Then I said to Jaymes, I said, Mr. Morley, can you get me a flight on Delta to Australia? And he goes, hey, I can't see any flights to Australia or on Delta. And I'm like, so I said, bullshit. I look up, there's like one airline that I can go to Australia now because of everything so screwed up. And I'm like, but yeah, I'm recording every day. I just put out a band Pyramid, an album with a band called Pyramid, which is progressive metal. And a second one will be coming out soon. I did a whole other record with him too, just as a guest singer. And it's crazy stuff, man. It's all over the place. It's fantastic. I really love it. Really, really good stuff. I did a record called, what the hell was it called? I can't remember everything I did. Engineered Project Society, I guess, sang on. I went out to LA and recorded it. And it's like a hard rocking, light DOS kind of a heavy hard rock, Leviathan Project. Another one, some local guy got me hooked up with. I did about 4 or 5 songs, and it's out there. That's Leviathan Project. And then the Three Trimmers released a new one. So the Three Trimmers, that's our second record, and hopefully we'll hit the road on that more. We did a tour in America, so hopefully we'll hit it. But yeah, I'm staying busy recording, and now that it's opening up, I'll start touring more. And I could have been touring America more. I did one tour of it with Three Trimmers in the month of November. I could have been hitting the road with that in America, because the best thing about it is, what's hard is at least you don't have to get tested every single state you go into. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem. I'm vaccinated and everything. I had to do my business. I can't, listen, there's worse things I put in my body than the vaccine. I can tell you that much. And
we've all been there.
But I think, yeah. And and I didn't ask any questions or ask for the side effects at that time. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so I've been staying busy, ready to go. But that's what's fun about doing this. Coming to Australia, when he said it, and then KK's like, yeah, listen, we're still waiting to try to get this tour and go ahead and do. I just started booking shit. I booked this and I knew it was in October, but I'm like, I got to pay my bills, So I'm really looking forward to this, because this will be a fun tour. They're all fun guys, great guys, and it's a fun set list.
Down under, mate. We always love having you down here. It's always a good time, my man.
I can't wait.
Well, mate, Ripper, thank you again for hanging on the show. We'll have all the links down here for Metal Gods, which is going to be just one of the best tours in the world. I can't wait.
Yes.
You take care of yourself, brother, and we will see you very soon.
Yeah, listen, get a hold of me anytime. I think you have to have my personal info. Get a hold of me anytime, or get it from whoever was hooking us up. I think Mark hooked it up. So, and stay in contact. We'll do this again.
I would love to. Hey, I'd love to do it in person if you're free.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
That'd be awesome, man. We'll have a beer and a chat. Dude,
you got it.
Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon, eh?
All right, buddy. Let's see you,
man. Bye.